When did you say, hey, I think I could make money doing this? And then we are actually recording now, so don't say anything wrong or bad.
I don't know. You might need me to sign a waiver or something before we start.
I know I don't have those either. And that's kind of what we were just talking about is the crap that you learn. And I have a feeling one day somebody's going to go, I don't want that content on there. And I didn't sign a waiver. So
yeah, I definitely have a waiver. So for that part, yeah, I have that part. Yeah.
I need to get that right.
You did sign that. So
Well, no, I need to get my own right. And there's your water.
yes.
I always open these on the camera because Red Bull's going to sponsor me one day. But we're going to do a montage of 52 Red Bulls popping.
That's how you do it. People just want like someone to sponsor them, but they haven't even done the work. Show them that you want to be sponsored.
I'm trying Red Bull. We need a sponsorship, and all I want is free drinks to pop on the podcast.
Yeah.
And one day we're going to get there. I mean, I if you read about podcasts, they take at least a year of consistency. And so as an entrepreneur, I thought nobody's willing to put in the work. So I'm doing 52 of these before I even make any decision on if we're going or not. So we'll
That's
see what
awesome.
happens.
Are you on Apple or Spotify?
I'm on everything.
Because I've been watching you on Instagram. I like the video podcast, which I haven't tapped into yet. But right now I'm just on Spotify and Apple. But I want to do the video. I just need someone to come set this amazing thing up for me.
Well, we can do that easy. But before we go any further, we're with, how do you pronounce your last name?
Schneider.
Ali Schneider from the Social Party Agency.
Whoop, whoop.
Which is in New Braunfels, Texas. She just got her brick and mortar, in May?
And yes, in April.
April, May-ish. And she is growing a marketing business, and we have just used her at one of our restaurants. But that's not even the reason why we're here today or how I found you. I just really like, and I've told you this on the phone, the way that you are approaching the marketing space and what you're doing. And so you're checking a lot of boxes, whether you know it or not, on stuff that I've learned and I've seen, and you just keep checking these boxes. So where did you learn that formula?
Well, I get a lot of hate for my formula, this too, because it's not perfect. It's authentic. And so I get a lot of hate for that because people want other marketing companies. They preach on perfection and using $10,000 in equipment. And I literally just show up as myself, and people hire me to save them time and energy because they don't want to do it themselves. And it's authentic. So I learned that from building my own personal brand and being authentic with my Girl Bounce Back brand. So do you want me to just get started on that? Where are we going?
I do want to go, and we can go wherever we want. And I feel like this is going to be an easy hour. When I do these with people that don't talk, we still get an hour easy. So I think we're going to be at an hour and be like, shit, we have to stop. But
I know.
I'll run them an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. But no, I do want to get into how all of this started, because this is about being an entrepreneur. And even we can start it with what in the world happened where you said, hey, I can make money with this. And that started with Girl Bounce Back. So tell me that moment that you said, hey, something's going on and we can make a living.
All right. Well, I was in the deep of it. I was going through a depression. My dad had passed away, and just my dad didn't raise me. He was he was an outlaw, but he was also a guy that if you needed help, he'd be there in a second, no matter what he was going through. But I didn't really see him much. So we started growing a relationship as an adult, and I tried to get close to him, and we were just getting close. And he honestly also just got a job that year, like a real job, not like under the table job and stuff like that. And he got a new truck and all the things. And that was the first year I hosted my first Thanksgiving with him. So it was like, oh my gosh, we're finally being able to grow a relationship. And then he passed away. And so when he passed away, it was really hard because I was mad. I was mad about the time we didn't have. And
Did you feel like you were doing a lot of things for him and showing him that you could do what you said and yeah.
I think for me, and I kind of write this in my book that I just dropped, that's dropping this Thursday.
We're going to go over that as well.
Yeah, but I was kind of talking about how my dad spent his whole life trying to bounce back. And he's literally the definition of like, you fell, you get back up and you go again. And for me, I kind of wrote that I want to live in my bounce back. Like I want to celebrate in it. And I don't want to constantly be trying and never win. And for him, he was trying and he finally got there and it was like taken away from him. And I want to win. I want to celebrate. And I want to do that because he never got the chance to fulfill that.
How did he pass away?
It was ulcer and in the middle of the night. And yeah.
Gosh. Well, that's how I want to go about 85 though when I'm sleeping. So
Yeah.
that's tough. And so you watched your dad bounce back from, I love the outlaw story though.
Yeah.
I love the outlaw
Yes.
story with a happy ending. And he was just starting his happy ending in his journey with you. And I think that's tough to not be in each other's lives as you're young. And a lot of entrepreneurs, I believe, go through that with a single parent thing. And I didn't really have parents growing up. I got kicked out of my mom's house when I was 17. And what's interesting is now I've kind of been proving to my dad, like, hey, look, I can do this. And he's kind of my biggest cheerleader. And I just couldn't imagine losing your biggest cheerleader. But
Well, I will say my biggest cheerleader has always been my mom.
oh, yeah.
And so she was a single mom till third grade. Then she got remarried and I had my dad who raised me. And so I was blessed to grow up in a, both parents, but not my real dad. So I had that situation. But my mom, I mean, when she was a single mom, there's 3 of us. I remember we would beg for 25-cent tacos at Taco Bell,
Yes.
which isn't possible anymore. But when we did do that, and then now she owns a successful property management company. She actually started her own company last when was it? Last June. So she just celebrated 1 year.
Good for her.
100 properties 1 year. She is about to hit 150.
And what does she manage?
Property management, so real estate, homes, and she like a lot of owners, investors, stuff
Good.
like that.
Keep
And she's
going,
blowing it
Mom.
up. Yeah.
Good.
So she's always been my biggest cheerleader. And so having both of those relationships and seeing both of my parents bounce back that's why I'm like, I'm the bounce back girl.
That's a great title to your book and a good story. So when you started, you hadn't always worked for yourself. And how did you decide you were working for a property management company? And how did you decide, man, I've had enough of this shit? Like,
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, at that time, it was during COVID, and I was actually serving tables because I'm really good. Listen,
Where at?
Downtown San Antonio Riverwalk.
Which restaurant?
I think it was called Longhorn, but it was Longhorn something. Longhorn Cafe. No, I don't remember. But I've worked at every restaurant. Even when I was in property management, I was serving tables. That's why when I was at filming content for seafood and spaghetti, I was like, I'm ready to go. I was such a good server. I'm really confident in that because I made really good money that I was like, I don't even need to be in property management and sit behind a desk because that's not anything I've ever wanted to do. And I was making just as much money serving tables.
We have some servers bartenders and servers at the restaurants that make plenty of money that's on or above what a professional desk job would pay. And there's nothing wrong with that, except your feet probably hurt at the end of the night.
Absolutely. 100%. So I was serving tables. It was during COVID. My spouse had got laid off from the oil field. And so we went from making oil field money to just making my server money. And our life did not pay for, our expenses did not get covered. And so we were really struggling. And at the time, through that depression and going through my dad passing away and all these things, I had gained 100 pounds in 1 year.
Man.
So I went from, the weight I am now is 20 pounds less. So I've lost 120 pounds.
Great.
And so I'm still on my journey. But at this weight during those years, I also was more confident. My body didn't look like it does now. Now I have all this loose skin and all that extra stuff. So, but at that time, at this weight, I was super confident. Even though I was still plus size, I was like, I can do anything I want.
I'm going to say something, whether people like it or not. There is, no matter what size your body is, confidence shines. And I've met a lot of girls that are absolutely beautiful with no confidence. And they might have 20, 30, 50 extra pounds. They are beautiful girls. But when they lose that confidence and they start talking about it instead of just owning their beauty, and man, we might really get in trouble for this, but it's okay. But Black women, the confidence that they have is contagious.
Yes.
And I love it. So good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you so much. It was a journey, and losing that 100 pounds, gaining that 100 pounds led me to where I am today. And so I was like, I got to do something about it. So I went to the gym. Oh, well, the gyms were closed, right? So I started walking because it was during COVID. So I started walking, and I went 1 mile to 6 miles a day. So I literally went from 1 mile the first week, and I was like, no, I need to lose weight faster.
How hard was the first mile to walk?
First mile wasn't hard. 6 miles was, I felt like I was of course, when you're losing weight, you have to discipline yourself, but it felt like 6 miles for someone at 350 pounds is kind of like torture. Mm-hmm. Like, it was awful. I felt like I was hurting myself. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I got to do something else. And the gym started opening up. So I went to the gym. And although I was broke, I was going to Lifetime and paying that $99 a month membership. Mm-hmm. So I love fancy gyms. I love the sauna, all those things. So that was something I love to do. And I went to the gym, and I saw this guy jumping on a mini trampoline, which is it was a jump sport mini trampoline, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. But I was 350 pounds at the time. I was like, I'm not doing it at the gym. I don't want to be made fun of. So I went home, and I got a $99 rebounder off of Amazon. And just so y'all know, rebounders range from like $99 to $1,500. And so when you get the $99 one, that's like saying that like you got a $5 rebounder. And so for me, that was like, I'm just going to start there. I'm going to try it out. And I got it. And we put it together, which almost caused a divorce because it was awful putting that thing together. And we put it together, and I put on Lil Wayne, Drake. I put on the disco ball, and I was just dancing and having fun because in my early years, I was in dance team. And I was lieutenant colonel of my dance team.
What are the East Central dance team called?
So they're called the Honeybees. Oh. Yeah, or the Golden Stars. And so I was actually lieutenant colonel of the Golden Stars. Senior year, I made Honeybees. But then I transferred my senior year to Samuel Clemens, and I was a belle. So yes.
I like the Honeybees more.
I can't say anything.
Well,
but I do. My heart is always with East Central because I went through East Central. So I never tell anyone that I even went to Clemens because East Central, all my friends to this day, I'm friends with, people since 7th grade from there. So yeah. Good. Clemens isn't in my, I don't tell anyone about it.
It's not on my resume.
Yeah.
There's a gap in the resume.
Yes.
What, so you're bouncing on this rebounder. You got the, what were the name of those old shoes, the cheap ones?
Oh, the bouncing ones?
No, just a cheap pair of shoes. But you got the bottom of the line rebounder. Mm-hmm. But rebound you did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rebound you did. And that's all these points that could be made of you wanted the fancy one, you bought the cheap one. But what happened? Where does this story go?
So I started sharing it on TikTok. And listen, I fought battles the day I posted it because as soon as I started posting it, I was already getting my friends, talking and all that stuff. Like, what is she doing? Laughing at me. But I still posted. And since then, by the way, I'm barely friends with anybody I was friends with. So through this journey of entrepreneurship and growing self-development and all those things, I've had to change my whole circle. So that's a whole nother like we have 80 podcasts in this episode.
Yeah. Well, the amount of hate that you got on being, on your TikTok and jumping led you into a depression.
Yes.
And then the amount of hate that you get, that's another thing that people should know as an entrepreneur. How many people in your life had said, Ali, yeah, just keep going. You're doing great. it's completely opposite. Of every 10 people that you tell, how many people just did not agree with you jumping on a trampoline to make money?
Yeah. Well, it didn't start at there. It started with me just sharing it because it was fun. I was literally like, look, I'm going to go and post this because it's funny. And then people were like, you should start teaching classes. And at the time, so I was sharing that journey. It started at 350. I was 280 at this time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not going to do this. 280 pounds fitness instructor, like, there is no way. And so it was like a Sunday night. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try this. And a lot of people, they'll start for free on YouTube. They'll try all the free ways to see if that would even be something to make them money. But for me, I'm like, I needed money tomorrow. My spouse got laid off. I'm serving tables and not making much because it's COVID, all the things. So I was like, let me try this. $25 a month. Let's see how many people will sign up. And so the next day I posted it. I got it already, like Google form, which is free. Then on the Google form, they had to press the link to go pay through PayPal, which was a reoccurring membership. And by the way, I had no education on any of this. I just figured it out. So they had to go there, pay with PayPal, and then I would text them how to access the membership. So no system, nothing automated, but I had something just that will work. So the first week I had 40 people sign up, made $1,000. And I was like, what? Like, this is insane.
You didn't even know what you were going to be doing for it, did you?
So I did 2 Zoom classes a week. So it was on Zoom. It was a 30-minute workout, 2 a week, $1,000 a month.
That is awesome. I got a buddy that's a personal trainer, and I want him to start doing stuff like this because he's in his little apartment, gym that he has, which is nice. He's been doing it for years, but I want him to step up his game, Scotty Estrada. And he's that great guy, personable. Were you talking while you're doing this?
Oh my
and just
gosh.
having a blast?
So I'll have to be honest with you. I cannot watch my videos back. Yeah. But I'm literally, this is the thing about when other people who are personal trainers and stuff, and they're already counting themselves out, I'm like, dude, I was 280 pounds. And we'll get into this in a minute, but I had within a time period, I had 2,500 different people. And at one point I had 1,500 people around the world getting workouts from a 280 pound woman who just got certified in group fitness because she was like, oh, I should probably get certified in that if I'm going to be teaching that. Yeah. And then, and so for me to be able to accomplish all that and have no credentials, not even healthy, like at the time, I was getting there and all the things, and to be able to have that much success, and then these people are counting themselves out. I'm like, no, I want to shake you.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. What an inspirational story. It just defying all the odds and even running through your own belief. You had to take steps that you didn't even, like, you're questioning yourself, but instead of stopping, you just kept going.
Yes.
And then it turned into 1,500 people paying you $2,500 a month.
But it also wasn't. So when I got the first 40, it was in a July, and then August I went down to like 30, and then September I went down to 20. So there's something to say about what I learned through business and having a gym type membership is not everyone sticks to it. Also, people thought it was so much fun because I literally brought fun, which is also how I bring my social media. I promote fun. I promote happiness because stop bringing clickbait or rage baiting and stuff like that. Like, let's bring happiness. People just want to be happy right now.
We have enough negative crap going on that you have to just avoid to stay happy or to stay sane. I mean, if you put your nose in the news today and you live through that every day, I mean, you'd never be happy.
Yeah. And so I just brought the joy and the happiness to it. And with that, I was able to grow that because people were like working out with their best friend. Like, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's go, and I also attracted the millennials because I didn't work out to like the free commercial music. No, I paid for the music license and I used that music because I do not want to work out to the piano guy, like elevator music. I went to work out to Drake saying like started from the bottom, now we're here. So that's what I want to work out to. So it was just fun and it's exciting, and I was sweaty, and people didn't want to stick to it because they saw the 8-second clip of me having fun, but didn't see 30 minutes into it. Rebounding is actually like athletes train on the rebounder to help them grow their endurance. Right? Like, and the funny thing is that before I started, I could not run, right? I was walking 6 miles. It took me 2.5 hours. There was no running involved. Okay. So now after rebounding, I think it was 6 months in, I was able to run 7 minutes straight, which is like, for me, I was like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I just ran without stopping. That's insane. So rebounding helps with so many more things. And the hard thing also is that I was losing weight through this, because when I was 100 pounds over, what I am today, I was sitting on the couch. I wasn't moving my body. I wasn't doing anything. I was very active before that. So that's how I was able to lose weight during that time. And so people were attracted through my weight loss, but it wasn't, and it was hard not to promote that because they saw it physically on my body. But at the same time, it was more than that. It was mental health. It was bringing the endorphins. It was helping me grow my endurance. It was helping me, to eat right, because I knew if I ate wrong, I would have a crappy workout. Yeah. And so all those things added up, and it wasn't just about weight loss. It was about way more than that. And it helped me bounce back from my depression.
And they could all see this on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
How many people during that time that you were doing that reached out to you and told you their story?
So tons. And so that was what I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have listened to all of those people more than I listened to the negative hate. Yeah. And I couldn't get past it at the time.
So those people, they were fueling your fire as well though, weren't they?
So there's one message I'll never forget. And it was a comment that someone left. So by the way, I went from 0 followers to now I have 225,000 followers.
Holy crap.
And so, and I have to rebuild that because I, stopped my Girl Bounce Back thing, and I'm rebuilding it right now, and we'll get into that in a minute, but I grew that whole account by being authentically me. But there was a comment that said, you're the reason why I started rebounding. It might have been the reason I saved my own life. And that's when I was like, wow, like it's not just fun and games. Like I'm actually helping people. There's comments about people who they started their kids. Like I never promoted a kids because my audience is millennials, like plus size women, like that's who, and honestly, it's crazy. So last August, I tried to do in-person classes and I won a location for this. We need to have a rebounding Girl Bounce Back place here in town. But because I started it, had 4 weeks, sold all tickets for every single class, like a month before it even started. So it needs to happen. If you take my idea, we'll talk, but I'm just saying, but I'm so excited about this. But I did that and there were skinny people in my class that were passed out. And I was like, exactly. It doesn't have to just be plus size people, but it was about the parents saying their kids came together. They were doing it together. They were working out together. There was people with kids who were autistic or had autism, and like they were having fun. Like what I brought so much joy to people. Yes. And then I also mixed it up because I was like, wait, I can't do Drake all the time because I do love Jesus. So I started dancing to like Kirk Franklin and stuff like that because, all those things. So it was fun and it was exciting and I had so much good feedback. But at the time when I started, I was going through a depression. It was never healed. And so me focusing on those negative comments is what led to me burning it down to the ground. Yeah.
And you probably have people, these followers and members that are going, where's Ali?
Oh, all the time.
Where's
almost
Ali?
Every day.
And that is just a lesson to learn right now. And one of the things that I think about the hater stuff and the advice that you get and the BS, obviously gets thrown in your face daily now because we're glued to our screens. So this didn't happen 20 years ago like it does now. But the people that are throwing the shit at you like that, they're nobody.
Yeah.
They're the people that give you a business advice that have never ran a lemonade stand. They're the people that are giving you advice on weight loss that are sitting there going the opposite direction of what you are
Yeah.
at this time. And I guess you've overcome that. You burned that thing to the ground, which sucks because I'd love to see it again, because you were literally changing people's lives for the better. Because of you, they've got these good endorphins. Maybe somebody didn't take their own life, which that's a gigantic accomplishment on its own. So are you thinking about bringing this baby back sometime?
So I'd like to share really quick, because I think this is important real quick, is that I had the 40 members. Then in August, it went down. September, it went down. October, in November, I was at 18 members. But even though it was going down, I invested that money I was making into marketing and courses and all this stuff to learn how to market myself. So I was still posting every single day, even though it wasn't growing. So it was the week of Thanksgiving, and I called my mom, and I was in tears, and I was like, Mom, I literally, and I could still feel the way I said it, but I was like, I hate my life. My birthday's next week. I can't go Black Friday shopping. I can't pay rent. I don't know what's going to happen. And I was on the way to that restaurant in San Antonio, pulled into the garage. I looked at my phone. That on the way from leaving my house in New Braunfels to pulling in that restaurant, I had 75 people sign up. Said, I ain't clocking in today. Went home. From that week of Thanksgiving to December 31st, so in 4 weeks, I made $30,000, had 1,500 people sign up, made 6 figures in 4 months. And that summer of that year, so I wasn't even in a whole year, I couldn't take the negative. And I woke up one day and I said, it's not about the money. I can figure out how to make money somewhere else. And I woke up and canceled every single membership, about 750 members. And so that's 750 times 25. I don't know what that is, but I lost a lot of money. And it just wasn't worth it for me. I sent an email out that says, hey, basically this is my feelings. This is what's going on right now. And I just need to take a break. And I actually decided to bring it back 20 times. And every single time I bring it back, I have a good 200 people that sign up that day. And I haven't been able to stick with it because I haven't taken the steps to, I think it took time, because now someone comments something, I'm like, girl, bye. Or I actually start saying things back now. So they'll say something stupid and I'll say something stupid back. But someone the other day, I posted in the Everything New Braunfels group a social party post, and they were like, nice feet. And I was like, you want to pay my office rent? It's just people are so, and honestly, they do it for just attention, and it's just funny stuff. And at the end of the day, I've realized that it doesn't matter what they say. And
none.
Yeah.
Think about any of the whole hurtful crap that they've said in the past, and you almost can't remember any of them.
I really can't. I remember one, and it's because
Let's go after them.
Yeah. Yeah, but I remember a couple, but it was, and I'll tell you, it's not just the mean comments. I would literally get people with death threats in my messages, you're fat, you need to kill yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so just, if you listen to this, make sure you don't do that. That's just call the suicide hotline, but it's just, that's the most messages that I was getting. So it was way more than just, they should be called fat pulleys from now on. And it's just it's things like that weren't that serious, but people didn't know what was in my inbox and that I was getting. And that's how bad it got. And then because I had a big following, I was watched every time. I don't post anything political. I don't post anything religious, because I do one thing that someone doesn't like, I am attacked by it. And because you have that big following, and it's I don't care what someone believes or doesn't believe, but it's just, I'm scared to post anything
and
that.
This is the kind of shit you're gonna have to put up with if you have big dreams of doing anything online.
Yeah.
And normally when they have dreams, they are big dreams, and they're gonna want hundreds of thousands of followers, and you really can't post anything there. You could put God is great and I love this child, and you're gonna get, it doesn't matter what you put. God, what a mess.
Yes.
So how did the Girl Bounce Back transition you into saying, I did okay at social media. Now I want pink stuff everywhere. And I'm going to name my marketing company after a party. It's a party here.
Yeah. Well, so I was like, if I can do it for myself, I can do it for other people. And one thing about me is I know how to sell. Like I can close anything. So the first month I had 18 clients. But the funny thing is when I first started, it was called the social cheerleader. Because and my tagline was like, I'm your biggest cheerleader. Because that's what everyone always says. Like, you're everyone's, biggest cheerleader. But then I had someone say, because they said it was like a mean girl thing because it's based on cheerleaders, and I was wearing white tennis shoes in a video one time, and they were they called me like white tennis shoes and cheerleader. They like put it together and said I was a mean girl. So it's like I was just like didn't want the name anymore. So I was like, what could I call it?
Off of somebody saying something online.
Yeah. But honestly, I never felt aligned with that name.
We're gonna have to give you a social media shield.
Yes, I know. But so I decided to call it the social party because I'm all about fun. I'm all about celebrating my clients' wins. And my tagline is you're only one post away from your next big win, because every single time I've gone viral, I have made thousands of dollars. And so that's why it gets me. I'm not trying to do a lot of shade here, but when people say, like, or the other marketing companies, it's not about going viral. Like, viralness means nothing. I'm like, you say that because you've never made 6 figures off one video that's gone viral. Last year, my third month into the social party, I had a local company, a local business, who went viral. It's called Foursquare Woodworks. You can go look him up on TikTok. He's gone viral on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube because of my content.
Great.
And twice in the same video that anyone can make so easily. I just saved him time, energy, and did it for him. And went and did that. Within 4 days, his 4th video went viral. He went from going door to door and dropping off tables to shipping globally and making 6 figures. And so that's just the first one. This past month, I have a dentist who has over 100 new patients in 1 month. And those are the things that I'm able to do with my content. And so when people say it's not about going viral, I'm like, you're going viral for the wrong things.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's all about going viral 100%. You could post something that gets 1,000 views and make a lot of money. But going viral has been so impactful for my life.
Yeah.
And so that's why when people say that, I'm like, it's because you've never been successful. I'm like, you posted the wrong thing. You've gone viral for jumping off a cliff, not for like actually making money.
But you're shooting for the moon on these things. And if you're aiming for the moon and you miss your target, you still hit a long way away. And if you're aiming for the end of the football field and you hit the moon, well, that's great too. But at least you're swinging for the fence every time. Because if you're not, you're never going to get over the fence.
Yep.
So, well, you've had, tell me about when you actually started your marketing agency and how you decided that it was time. Was it because of the success with the trampoline stuff that you're like, all right, we're going to go for other customers? What was that like getting your first customer? They're putting a lot of trust in you.
Well, my first customer I did for free. Well, it was exchange of service. So I'll tell you you know how sometimes you have an idea and you do it and it's like not the best idea. So I decided to get my cosmetology license for lash extensions after I quit. I was like, I got to do something. So I invested in that and I did lash extensions for like 4 months, actually like 3 months. And I was like, this is the worst thing ever. But I would tell everyone my story and everything, like while they're sitting in my chair and I'm like doing lashes that are absolutely horrible. I was like, I feel like I shouldn't even have like been paid for this job, to be honest. It was so awful. But it wasn't where I was supposed to be. And a hairstylist was like, you should do mine. And I was like, okay. And then I also wanted a way out of this. So I was like, maybe I should just do it for other people. So I started doing hers. And then I was like, oh, wait, that's actually working. And then I started doing it for other people. And I was really nervous and I also built my website in 2 hours because I know how to build websites overnight and I got everything set up. I mean, I could literally build anyone a business in 24 hours. You say like I'm going to start. And I don't mean like your actual LLC and all that, but I'm talking about you need social media presence. You need a website. You need this and that. I can set someone up in 24 hours. And I'm very confident in that. And so that's what I did for myself. I had it up and running. I started marketing myself. And I think that's another thing. People are so scared that if they go and they present a business and they fail, that they just embarrass themselves. And I'm like, dude, if I told you how many businesses I've done or tried.
We're going to do the starting your own business at the airplane hangar, and we fell flat on our face on the first try. But here we are again, working it up, coming up with a plan. We're going to do it again. And again, that's what it takes to be your own boss. How many times do you go to work and you fail? Yeah. And people that sit across from me, which we're going to ask you in a little while, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? So now you have about 30 minutes to think about that.
Okay.
But really the thing that comes out of most of these people's mouth when you ask, what would you tell yourself? 90% of them are keep going. Don't stop. Don't let the roadblocks hit you. And we've sat across the table from people that are doing hundreds of $million a year in revenue and in business. And that's kind of the moral of their story. So falling on your face is part of being in business. And so you started this, the marketing agency. I need to get the name of it right so I could stop saying marketing agency, but the Social Party Agency. And what have been some of the challenges that you've gone through on starting that? Early challenges and early goals? Like one of your earliest goals was probably, I need a camera.
Yeah.
I need a place to shoot. So walk us through some of those.
Well, when I first started, I was by myself for the first year and a half. So all the success stories I have that I market right now were by myself until I brought on a team like 2 months ago. So starting, I didn't get a camera. I used my iPhone 13 and made businesses 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
So people are always like, I need the camera. I need the drone. I'm like, I had my phone and made businesses 6 figures. Mm-hmm. And so that's like what makes me stand apart is that I'm also able to charge a more affordable price and do more and do it more efficient and do it faster because I use my phone. Mm-hmm. And that's my thing. It's like, for me, social media is kind of like gambling. Like you post a post and like, is it going to be the one that takes off or is it going to be the one that sits there? So I take a chance and I post every single day for my clients. Well,
you say that, and we've got, I've sat in rooms with guys that are doing, they market all over the U.S., $25 million a year marketing budget. And these guys they market all day long and they have a hook and they have this, and the bottom of the line from what the end of the story of what they said is, we don't know what's going to work. But we're going to keep putting it out. And some of the things that we think we're going to fall flat on our face end up going viral and being crazy. Have you had stories like that?
I think every single video I've done for myself, for my personal brand and for my clients has always been the post that we never thought was going to be the post. Mm-hmm. And that's what's insane. And you don't know no one knows. You can't hire someone and say, make me go viral.
And then when you talk to a social media person, which every, blonde girl at Texas Tech is a social media expert and can do it better than who's currently doing it. They know what's going to go viral, but they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. So you just have to keep spitting out content galore and see what happens. But that's one of the things that kind of attracted me to your business was the authenticity of it and the no gives a fuck about what's coming out. They've got an HR thing that they sit across and they hired and says, okay, so what the fuck can you do for me?
Yeah.
And I love that stuff. And so much today is hidden behind bullshit. We sugarcoat everything, and y'all aren't sugarcoating it. And you are being real and you are being genuine. And that's what I like about it. And then it's got your touch on it that's funny and bubbly. And so I think you got a winning combination, and I'm excited to watch it.
I think also one of my biggest struggles, though, is that I really believe in good energy. And so I've let clients go because I'm like, if we can't work well together, you gotta go. And so my struggle has been, and it's only been like 3 clients, but it's like, that's why this is something that helps me, and what I like to talk to people about. I show up as myself because I want to attract people who want to work with me. And so if you hire me, it's usually because you've stalked my content, you know my story, you know what kind of content I put out. And so that's been my thing, is that when people come to me and they're like, I want to show up as a professional, I want to wear a suit and tie, but then they hire you and you're like, who gives a fuck attitude, then they're probably not going to work well with you because they hired you for the suit and tie. So that's one of my struggles with sharing with clients. Like, you have to show up as you. You have to be yourself, because you're going to attract your ideal client. It'll probably grow faster by just being yourself.
Yeah. That's but every time in your experience that you do let one of the clients that you don't, or you're not working well with go, what has occurred?
Oh my gosh. There's been 3 of them that I've let go. And the one, every single time, it's been such a big relief. It's been like, I can breathe. I'm no longer getting a call at 3 a.m. for an emergency for social media. There's barely any emergencies for social media. Yeah. And, I'm not getting, here's my thing too, is boundaries. I've learned boundaries, and I always go above and beyond for my clients and do more than what's included in the contract. Yeah. And so, but then there's been some people that are like, they keep asking and they keep asking. Then it's like, okay, this is too far. Old. Yeah.
But when you let go of a customer or client, usually another new one gets on the bus.
Yes.
That fills. Has that been your experience?
Yes. And every time I raise my prices, I get clients that are even like, they just want me to do my job. And that's what I want to do my job, because I know what to do and I know how to do it. And I feel like when I've done the deals and the bartering and all that, like you get when you first start your business, those have been the most complicated clients. Yeah,
that does get, I've been through all of this with mowing grass and trading services, and it's a tough balance. But I think you're doing it right, and you're learning quick too. A lot of people, I've been doing this since I was 19, and I'm going to lie about my age and say I'm 39. I'm really 45 next week, but that's,
happy early birthday.
Thanks. That's 25 years of knowledge that we've been gaining doing this stuff. So you're learning quick, and maybe that's because you started when you are not 19 or 20, but it is hard to set the boundaries. But we got an email with some of your stuff, don't call us the next 3 days.
Oh, but I know,
that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You're doing that to set your team up for success moving forward. And if you didn't do that, the obstacles that would come out of you not doing it would be much worse. And the content and the professionalism that you're engaging with your clients would have been skipped because of the work that you're going to put in. So it's a little bit of pain now, but for good stuff later. So you're relatively new on having employees. How long have you had employees for, Ali?
Well, independent contractors and then employees as of this week. It's 2 months now, but I started with I'll tell you, and this is how crazy it's been. In February, I brought Sarah, she lives in Georgia, and she's like my ride or die girl. And I brought her and I said, we're going to try to make Girl Bounce Back come back. We're sitting on my trampoline upstairs in my house, and I was crying, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then I didn't know what direction. March, I was like, I'm going to go hire a team, and I'm just going to figure it out, and we're going to do the social party. I'm going to bring Girl Bounce Back. March, I went through all the interviews, and I don't know how to say no. So I was like, okay, I went from hiring one person to bringing on a team of 10. And so it's been hard. I have learned to, I think, how do you say it? It's something like hire slowly, fire fast.
That's what they say.
And I've learned that I can't be people's best friend.
If we want to make a good hire, which everybody's guilty of it, unless they're, like a Dave Ramsey guy, you're going through 7 interviews, which really should probably be the right process. But if we want to hire somebody good at one of my restaurants, we're making them come back 3 times.
Yeah.
And that means they can show up on time 3 times. They're committed to you. They've made time in their schedule, and you get to see them 3 different times. And when we did that, when we opened Beer House, we hired really well. At least 2 or 3 interviews, things went way better. So if you can avoid rushing the hires, it pays off a lot better in the end. And, you know, we're struggling with cooks right now at some places, and they come in and we hire them on the spot, and we're seeing that that's not working out for us. And so luckily we only have a busy time through the summer, so we're going to chug through it and then we'll hire better. But, you know, advice on your part is bring them back 2 or 3 times, and you're going to get a quality candidate that fits.
I think also for me, it's learning how to lead a team, because I'm learning by mistakes. No one's coaching me. No one's teaching me. And so right now I'm learning what not to do when you lead a team, and what to do when you lead a team, and all those things that are that you have to have figured out. And so,
you like to be really hands-on with all of this.
I do, but honestly, with my clients or with my team? Well, both,
with the clients.
Yeah, I do. And that's been really hard, because I learned that to be in a management or owner role, you're more of like letting out fires and managing things, or like creating systems and all that. And what I love to do is create. I love to build things. I love to be with my clients. I love the sales part of it. I love all those things, and I've had to take a back seat to that, but not anymore, because I'm having someone take over that so I can get involved too. But that's one of my things, is I want to grow. I want to be able to open different locations and all that, because I literally, when I brought on a team, I grew my business 8 times. So, in 1 month. So I know I can keep growing it, but it's like, if I keep growing it, I have to take a real step back. And I don't know if I think that's what makes my business so different from everybody else's, is my clients really hire me because of me. And so when they hire me and then they don't have me, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, they have you. You're only a phone call away from your employee, and you can touch on what the employee is doing. And as a business person that is going to grow and expand, you have to rely on these employees. And that's where the 3 or 4 times coming back to during this interview and that process is going to really help you shine in the future. But man, there's no doubt it's a delicate balance, and getting your personality out in their work is going to take you, bouncing desk to desk to get it done. But I have no doubt that you can do it. So
I agree. Honestly, my team is so amazing, and everyone's been great. All the videos have been great. All the content's been great, and it's just also learning that I can let go. I think that's another thing, is that as business owners, we're also scared to let go a lot.
For me, that's been one of the most difficult transitions in the past, about maybe a year now. It's that I would hit every restaurant all the time, talk to every single person. And now stepping back, because we've had Zamora come in, where he's kind of doing my job and the other partner doing, their job. But I'm really stepping back and working on the things that I want to work on. And it has been a constant mental struggle, because I'm used to working on these things every single day. I'm rushing to Lubbock or rushing to Port A to make sure that I see these businesses every 2 or 3 days and walk these employees. But eventually you get burned out or you outgrow it. So you've got to figure out what you're good at. When the fires come out, you go put those out and tweak those, because the truth of the matter is you and I are better at putting out a fire like this and moving on to the next step than our team is going to be, because we've seen it and dealt with it. But man, talk about real struggles as a business owner.
I know. God, I know there's so many things that I'm like, I wish I already had in place when I started. But I feel like it's learning. I feel like there was someone I talked to this week, and they said, don't let it define you, let it refine you. And I was like, yes, girl, that's what I'm going to do. They do. Every little instance and every situation that you get into,
starts to refine you and shape you to sharpen this business and grow it, to be an arrow instead of being a broad spectrum. But it's just, man, there's so many lessons and they don't stop.
And a lot of business owners, they give up. Like when something goes wrong, like for instance, there's times where there's something last week that happened and I was like, I'm moving out of state. I was like, I'm getting out of here. But for me, it wasn't even that big of a deal. Now that I have a HR team to take care of it, I'm like, all right. It's not that, honestly, I made it a way bigger deal than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning those lessons, but a lot of business owners will let one thing crush them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you have to keep showing up and you just have to keep going. You have to bounce back.
Yes.
Because if you don't, that's how a business is going to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you just have to keep pushing and push. It's never going to stop. But, how has the past few months or year been for you as an entrepreneur? Would you trade it for anything?
I would never work for someone again. Absolutely not. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. As much as I failed, I've succeeded. I've gotten so many results, on top of Girl Bounce Back, on top of the social party. I've also sold over $1 million for brands on TikTok Shop.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm kind of a badass, but no, I'm just kidding. But as much as I failed, I've won. And so I think for me, it's been because I do deal with my mental health. I do deal with depression and anxiety. I'm trying to learn how to just get up and get going faster and not be sick to my stomach for 2 days, and because those are the moments that are actually hurting me. If I can get to the point where we have kind of talked about earlier, where it's just like, let it go. You have people now and you can just move on and go to the next thing. And it's really not as serious as you think it is. And there's going to be things as a business owner that are going to come to you daily that you're going to have to deal with. So I think just, balancing that out, therapy is great.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you do to balance out those stresses? Is it hit Phoenix Bar, green teenies?
Green teenies, I would love your business. I was just kidding. I literally, I would love to go I love green teenies.
Yeah.
I've been going there since forever. And I actually went there on my wedding night because it was a bar hopping night.
Yeah.
But I love green teenies and I like to do those things. But honestly, I probably once a week, I go out with my clients and they always have events. All my clients are business owners, so they always have an event. But other than that, I'm home working every night.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's been therapy, but, I just do that. But it's also been talking to people, and it's also working out. And I will say when I stop working out, that's when I feel like everything starts losing its space, because working out's such my thing, and I haven't been working out in the last month.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I procrastinated going to the gym for 3 years, knowing everything that you just said is good for me, how much I love it, how much I feel better, and I procrastinated 3 years. And I'm the person that's telling people, no, Ali, you need to go do this. Mm-hmm. And yet I was procrastinating. So if it helps you at all today, go get back on your trampoline and go yes. Jump, because we need it. And I'm not skipping the gym today because I know it's like my mental health escape for an hour and a half or an hour. Like, you just kind of forget about everything. And even the problems that you were focused on before you go to the gym, they kind of disappear once you're done and you move on to other things, or you'll attack them right away. So if we accomplish something today, I hope you'll go back to the gym, because it's going to be good for your brain. It
will be. I think it's just putting the phone away.
Yeah.
Like putting the phone away and being like, okay, I'm going to leave it for an hour. Hopefully the world doesn't end while I don't have my phone,
won't.
So
won't. It won't end. So you started the marketing agency, and I saw something when I was stalking you that used to be called research, but you went to Austin and you won a marketing event.
Oh, that was okay. So there's another market. So I wish every business would collaborate and we could all just be like, there's thousands of businesses, but I love collabing with other marketing companies, and they were having a marketing event to teach people. And I reached out to them and I was like, hey, could I bring my team? Because like, I love to educate, and so they are I love them. If they're in Austin,
It's called the Badass Marketing something.
I don't remember, but I went, and her name's Shannon Hill. If you look her up on Instagram, I forgot her actual business name. I don't. It starts with an M. But anyways, we went, and it was just make a video, right? And the person who gets the best video wins $100 Venmo. And so everyone was creating it. There was probably about 75 people there who made a video, and my video, I will tell you right now, I stood in front of and this is what people always say. They always want to say there's no intention or something like that if you post a silly video. I had a video. I went to the microphone and I went, it was, let's go girls. Man, I feel like it was just that. And and then I said, when you leave, and then on the screen, with screen from TikTok, not like some Adobe or CapCut writing, just screen from TikTok. I put, when you leave the event feeling like you're the most empowered woman.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other videos were totally over edited and all these things. And my video won. And so that was just my point again. I was like, and again, and again. And that's when people like make these posts about, posting every day or not posting, like the best lighting or the best text or anything like that. And like,
just post.
Yeah. Just post. And it's so many people are stopping themselves from success because they're waiting for that perfect video. And it's like, if you just showed up and was like, you could drink a water, put something on the screen that's relatable, and go viral.
Yeah.
And you're not taking the chance because you're waiting for the perfect camera.
And it's never going to come.
Yeah.
It'll never come. We're just like our event. Like, my hanger's not beautiful. I don't have a shiny white floor. But we're going to do the best job we can with what we have.
But you say that, but when someone shows up at the hangar,
yeah,
I'm already like, girl, I just went from my little office to this hangar, and there's 2 planes out there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm in royalty, right? And so we judge each other. We judge ourselves. Like, we don't have the perfect office, but there's people who dream that they have your office.
Well, and that's what I tell people when they walk in is this was my dream, and it is my dream. And sharing aviation with people is my passion. And I really because have you ever been in an airplane hangar before?
I haven't. I drive past them all the time while I pick up my employee from Frontier because we can't pay pay for Delta yet. And so I have her flying Frontier, and in Austin they have like the millionaire thing and stuff. So I'm always like, I wonder what's in there. And this is like the version of it.
Yeah.
So.
And I always like people to see it because it's so different. So above the podcast studio, I have kind of a conference room apartment that we're working on, and it's got a big window to sit down and overlook the airplane. Because for me, it's the most beautiful view in the world. I love it. Besides my kids, like, an airplane is just the most beautiful thing. So it's neat to share it. But you just hit the nail on the head with, well, I don't have polished floors. I don't have, and you're like, no, this is great.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. Send me whoever hooked up your podcast studio because I need it.
Yeah,
my podcast studio just has a little webcam.
Well, you're staring at him and another guy named Daniel. We built this table in Lubbock. I built this to not come out of Miguel's restaurant. So I had to actually cut the legs off to get it here. But this table's kind of sentimental because I got the wood from my cousin's ranch and he passed away. And so this was the first, I wanted a mesquite table and I built it, and now it's sentimental because of that. So
I love that. And I was also looking at, I'll tell you, last night when I was looking at the videos to prepare for today, I was like, oh, I love his table because in the camera, it's like, has this like acrylic or something over it, and I was like, it looks so good on camera.
I haven't paid attention to that, but it's I wanted a mesquite table with epoxy, and I put a little bit of steel in there too because I like blending that. During my landscaping days, we would use a lot of steel, and anyway, so it's my version of the table that I want. And then this homegirl came from Miguel. She showed up about 2 weeks ago, and I love sugar skulls. I might have one tattooed on me. And so I didn't want her to get stolen from the bar. So she's here hanging out in spirit. And I don't know if she's good for it or not, but we'll see in the next couple cameras. Well, tell me, this is another thing. You keep breaking through all these barriers of things that I can't do, and you just keep doing it. You got a book called Girl Bounce Back coming out. What inspired that?
Well, so last year I signed up for something to be able to write a book. And it was $30,000. And it didn't even actually make the cover. It was just basically walking you through how to do it.
Was this locally?
I am going to plead the fifth.
Okay.
Okay. And so I joined, and then I got out of it real quick because I was like, I felt so demotivated. I felt like I can't write a book unless I have 350 pages and a size 8 font and everything's like perfect and lined up and has this and that and all these things. And I was like, I don't even have the time for this or the energy and all the things. And so I got very demotivated. I was like, it's not possible. And I really just wanted to help people. And so what I did was I stopped everything. And I was like, I can't do it. So in January, I actually joined this mastermind, and it's for ads, because I was like, some of my videos, I mean, a lot of my videos are so good. What if I put money behind them? Let me figure out how to do ads the right way. So I joined this mastermind, and in there was this girl who does books. And I was like, I'm going to send you something. And it was like a rough draft of what I wrote last year. And before I had joined the event, and she was like, girl, that's perfect. And you know, all the things. And I don't know if it's because like she just wanted to sell or something, but I was like, you know what? It's my first book, and something about me is I learn from my mistakes. I learn by doing, and I make it happen. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. So my book is 115 pages. It's a size 13 font. My spouse drew a picture in there so we could have a coloring page. It's a journal and a book. I share my stories. And it just talks about resilience. It talks about the woman who built me, where and how, like, basically I've seen everyone who's raised me has bounced back. And it also talks, and we have not gotten into this, and you know, but I was homeless for 3 days. And there was a time where my life was based on YOLO, you only live once. And I partied every day, and I lost my job. I lost my apartment. My mom was like, I'm teaching you a lesson. I'm taking your car back. And I was also full of pride. You know, I didn't surround myself with people who would probably be like, understand if I was like, I lost everything. It was more like a judgmental thing. And so I walked out of my apartment. I lived at 281 and 1604, and an apartment right behind the shopping center. I don't know if that.
I know where it's at. By Academy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I walked out. I went to that shopping center, went in the Starbucks, and I was like, what am I going to do? So I called around. I found an apartment that would work with me with $199 total move-in. I had no money. So I was like, because back then I was like, shots on me, you know, even though there was like, I went home with nothing, but I had gas in my tank and money for drinks. So I was like, I need $199. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I walked to the Red Robin. I walked in, got a job that day. I was like, can I work doubles? I was like, I would love to. Of course, they were like, yeah, if you can finish in 2 days, we'll let you start. So by my third day, I had cash. But when I left there, the day I got hired, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do? Because even though I had a small win, I was homeless. And so this is the part that gets me, but it was during Thanksgiving, so it was like 20 degrees outside. And I just slept outside. I didn't sleep, by the way. I was just like, you know, just sitting there. If you walked past me, you wouldn't know I was homeless. And that's why I'm always like, don't judge people, because you could walk past someone who's homeless right now and you don't even realize it, because they have a purse, they smell clean and all that. Every morning for 3 days, I walked into that Starbucks at 5 a.m. when it opened, and I washed my hair and gave myself a sponge bath in that sink. And so that Christmas, when I got back on my feet after I called my mom, and so the third day I walked 2 miles to the Motel 6 off of like Thousand Oaks or something, got a bed. And then like a few days later, I called my mom, and I was like, just told her everything, because it was like the day before Thanksgiving. I was like, I should probably go to Thanksgiving with my family. And so she came and got me. I got back in property management, got an apartment, because in property management, you're kind of always secured in an apartment. So I got an apartment, got back on my feet, all the things. And I've always been so shameful of sharing that story. But I think that is the reason why two things. I'm not scared to take risk in business. It could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing, but that's what has helped me become successful, because I'm not scared to lose everything, because I've already lost everything and I
Right.
came back from it.
Yeah.
So that's like my book and where I was at. And I got there from my own mistakes, but I learned so much from it, and it's made me who I am.
Well, you're not scared to fail. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You've been at the bottom. So there's only one way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I always tell people, if I fail, you can find me mowing grass. And if I ever call you to mow your grass, you better say yes, because I'm going to need it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I would mow grass again. And I think a lot of people have sat in your shoes on this show. They might not have been homeless or at the bottom, but they're willing to do whatever it takes. And you walked your ass into Red Robin and got a job.
Yeah, I didn't call, like, that's my thing. I didn't call someone and beg them for help. I
No.
didn't get a sign and ask for help. I literally was like, all right, what do I got to do? I got to figure it out. I got to get a job. I
Yes.
got to make money. I have this much, like, and this is how much I need. And then I got a Motel 6. And then I was like, wait, I'm literally paying to buy my Motel 6 every night. I need to call my mom.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, and I did have help. I didn't have to be in that position.
Yeah.
I could have asked, but pride, that's another thing that can hurt you as a business owner,
Getting
is pride.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a story. There's
Yeah.
a lot that people can learn from today's podcast.
Yeah.
Uh,
I literally, so I always say, like, I went from homeless to making 6 figures. Like, I literally changed my entire life. I mean, it didn't happen overnight. That was like that was probably like 20. No, I was 21 at the time, because that was the year I was like, I can drink. I grew up in a very Christian home. And so when I left, I was like, I'm experimenting with
Outlaw.
everything. Yes. And so that's like, I'm like, that's why if I ever have kids, I'm like, I want them to experiment a little bit while I'm.
it seems like the people that experimented and were idiots in high school did okay in college.
Yeah.
The people that were really good in high school kind of crap the bed in college. And I'm hoping and praying like anything that does not happen to my kids, because
Yeah.
my kids are so good. They have rambunctious, rebellious sides, but they're so good right now that I hope they don't dive off that cliff. I'll
Yeah.
beat their ass if they do. I'll
Yeah.
find them. Don't do it, kids. Well, so what's next for you in this big this world that we're doing these things in? What's next on your horizon? Where are you at in your business? What are you looking for? What are the goals you're going to talk about in the next 3 days with your team? Where are you going?
One is I'm going to get into more so like coaching and helping people set up their social medias, because I want to be able to help small businesses who can't afford my full package right now, but are wanting to DIY it. And so I'm going to get into that in July, which I'm excited about. It's like 1 hour a week. I'm also going to, with my book launches on Thursday, I'm having a big launch party and also like client appreciation party. I'm excited about that. But then the other thing is my team. With my team, I am learning so much that the next 3 days, I want it to be team bonding. I don't want it just to be about what they can do for me and my clients, but I want to know what I can do for them. And I think that's what this past lessons I've learned the past like 2 or 3 weeks is that, number one, there's so much that they can do and that I can tell them what to do, but I also need to learn how to be a leader right now. And that's what I want to know.
I think Gary Vee said the minute that you find out the minute that you think they work for you is that you've lost it all.
I saw that and I was like, that's amazing. Because I mean, I grew my business 8 times in 1 month with the team.
Well, with you expanding and growing and getting these employees, it really is, what can I do for you to work with these clients like it's me working with them?
Yeah. I think that's what my biggest struggle is right now, because a lot of my clients, or even the ones that came on last month, they've also been talking to me before. So even though they may be new to working with me, they're basically like, they wanted me. And so that's what's so hard, is that every creator, because the thing is my content creators who I've hired all have their own styles, right? They all have their own way they work. They all have their own communication styles, all the things, and being able to place them with clients who they could have a long relationship with and all those things. And so that's a struggle to figure. And so that's what I kind of want to play with this week. Like, let's have our personalities come out. Like, show me, because I want to stick you with a client that not that the client's going to work well with, but that you're going to want to keep creating for. And our creators have all had their own success in some way. And so it's important to know that I'm not just hiring someone new. They all like have actually done it.
Well, when we were mowing grass, that was kind of one of the things that it stopped a lot of lawn guys. And we'd sit by and we'd say, well, Miss Jones is going to be pissed if I'm not there mowing the yard.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, so Miss Jones is going to be pissed if we're not mowing the yard. And I think what ended up happening is as long as you're delivering the quality of results, Miss Jones doesn't care who's on her yard. But as business owners, and we know that we were there, and I don't think I don't believe that they're always going to miss you, but you're only one phone call away. But if you're being who you are to your employees and they're delivering constant content and the quality of the content keeps coming out, you'll never have a problem.
Oh my gosh. So one of my new girls, and she just started 2 weeks ago, and she sent a video last night that was sent to like my team leader, and she sent it to me. And it is the most amazing video. And you might appreciate it because you've been in landscaping and lawn and all that. And it's one of our clients who does like exterior work, like spray washing. And it is the coolest video I've ever, like to this day, I've ever seen. And I was like, and honestly, I needed that to be like, I'm in good hands.
Yes.
And so that video was so good, and I was so impressed that I'm just like, I can't wait to go back to my team today at the office and just shout her out, because it makes me feel good when things are getting done and they're great content without me having to like train. Because I'll tell you one thing, as a business owner, and I have another girl who started today at 9 a.m. and she messaged me on Friday, and she was like, so do you have, do I need to watch an onboarding or anything? And I was so delirious. And I was like, because last week was so much to me that when I read that, I laughed so hard I was crying, because I was like, you're just going to have to go. Like in my head, I'm like, there's not really an onboarding right now. There's like, we're figuring it out. But I have an HR team that just started last week. And so we're getting those things situated. But it was just one of those moments that I was like, I wish.
There's so much to figure out. Do you have an onboarding video?
Yeah. No, I was like, it was so funny.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. Well, I gave you 30 minutes to think about this. So what would you tell 20-year-old Ali at this time?
So remember when I had said I lived in like YOLO, like you only live once. I think I would have told myself to take pride in myself, because I let a lot of people walk over me and take advantage of me. And so I think that, and then also I would tell myself to not burn bridges, because in my early 20s, I didn't care.
Yeah.
And I burnt a lot of bridges. Yeah. And so not burn bridges. And I would tell like my 28-year-old self to stop letting shame hold you back. Because as I'm like growing and I'm realizing like the mistakes I made in my 20s, I was like, I feel like I could have been further along now, because I am really smart. Like I didn't go to college. I got all C's in high school. My teachers passed me, just get out, But I was like, I'm really smart. I'm really creative. I can build a website. I can figure it out. Like I am really good at marketing, all the things. But I let shame like wrap me up so much that of things that really aren't that big of a deal, but were a big deal, like to me. So yeah, I think let go of shame, let go of pride, don't burn bridges. And at the same time, some of the bridges you got to burn are because people take advantage of you, and not everyone's your friend.
That's good advice. And from your story, what I've gathered is you bust through doors and then you have a ball and chain. You're like, you like that dog on a tree.
Honestly, I've never seen it like that. I think that is me. I'm like, hey, I'm here.
And then,
wait, I have. Oh my gosh! I need to tell my therapist that. That's so good.
You just got to get rid of that one little chain. But these are all things that we just learn as we go. We just trip and fall and get up and go. But so where can everybody find you at?
So the Social Party Agency on Instagram. You can also go to the socialpartyagency.com on my website. And if you want to connect there, or Girl Bounce Back, we're creating whole new pages for that and coming back bigger and better. And so you can find that on Instagram and TikTok. You might want to follow on TikTok because Girl Bounce Back, as soon as I start promoting that, it will take off again because I'm good at what I do. And people love it. And I make a difference in this world just like everybody else. And I think that's also something I would tell people, like, the world is better because you're in it.
I just love that you're like, I'm good at what I do. Because you are.
Yeah. And I think because I'll tell you, I get people, other companies, and I've been getting screenshots this week who kind of say things about my methods. They don't believe in the 30 days of posting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, for some reason, they can't focus on what they're good at. Instead, they focus on what other people are doing wrong, as they say. But I'm like, no, like, I'm kind of the shit.
I liked it. I read that what you posted yesterday. It's like, quit sending me screenshots. And then I was going to reply, but I didn't, like I normally do. I just stopped typing. But, a lot of times we're like, hey, so-and-so's doing this, so you should do this. So-and-so's going to do this. And I feel like I'm running my own race, right? And you're running your own race. And if somebody wants to keep up with you, good for them, because they're going to have to work their ass off. So I don't care what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't care what they're doing because you're running faster and producing and doing better and bigger things than they are. Yeah. So you don't need that distraction.
But also, everyone's going to go to who they are attracted to. And that's like my biggest thing. Someone who hires a company that is not like me probably would not hire me even if they saw my content. Mm-hmm. If they go hire them, if they saw my content, like just vice versa. What you put out is who you attract. Right. And so if people aren't attracted to me, go to the next one because not everyone's going to like me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, and I don't want a client who doesn't want to hire me. It's like, it's not competition. It's just show up as yourself and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Yeah. And I will tell you something I've learned is I block out my competition. Like, my competition's blocked, and I'm sorry, like, they can be like, she blocked me, and I'm like, yeah, because it protects my mental health too. Yes. So when I go to my page, I'm not looking at what I'm not doing or what I should be doing. I'm focused on what I'm doing and what I'm winning at. So even if they're like, she blocked me, it's not because I don't like you, it's because to protect my mental health.
I love it. I love it. I don't want you stopping either. And you don't just stop. You have an abrupt.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, everyone's canceled today.
Done. We don't want that, and your clients don't want it. So keep up the good work. I'm excited. First of all, I'm super excited to have met you. The journey that you're doing checks off. I've gone to a lot of coaching, a lot of classes, and what you're doing is checking off these boxes one by one of the things that this coach teaches are the way to do it. So you're doing it whether you like it or not. And I just love your story, and I love the journey. So I want you to keep it up. I wish you a ton of success. We will be watching without negative comments, actually positive comments, and wanting you to keep going. Even if you do get a hater, we might go to bat for you with those haters. So keep up the good work. It's Ali Schneider from, why can't I not keep this in my brain?
The Social Party.
The Social Party. And we really appreciate you coming and sharing your story with us. I wish you a lot of luck on the book debut. I'm hoping to be there. If I go to Port A, I won't, but if I do, I will be there. I'd love to mingle with guests that are business owners. If any of them want to come on Business Under Fire, we have a few positions left and would like to chat with some of them so we could share these stories with all the people that want to be entrepreneurs and start their own business. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. It's so cool to be in a hangar. I mean, this is awesome.
Isn't this like it's like the colors right? It's just a spot to hang out and
it's
BS.
A vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And on to the next one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.